Hey everyone, this is William here. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. I haven't really uploaded anything on here in a while because I work long hours here as a diesel mechanic, and life just gets busy. But doing a little bit of a walk around on this one because I'm not entirely sure if I'm keeping it yet or not. And it's my first one, and it's been an interesting experience, more I can say, I guess. But yeah, so this is my 1998 Land Rover Discovery 1 300 TDI, 2.5 liter single turbo. We never got this engine variant in Canada or the US, I believe. It was only in like Europe, Australia, and like probably like South Africa and other places, I would imagine. But yeah, I bought this back in, I believe it was 1st of June or just the second week of June. And I bought it with 320,000 kilometers on it, which is a little high already for a vehicle, but vehicles here in Australia have lots of high kilometers on them just because of the distances, etc. you have to drive. Since then, I've put just about 8,000 kilometers on it, and it hasn't left me stranded or broken on me, so it's pretty good so far. But I've also put in roughly $5,000 into maintenance into it. So I've done all the work myself, so I've saved on labor and other costs of taking it to a shop, etc. So kind of to show you what I've done to it and what's came with it and some things, I guess. So this is my first Land Rover. I've always wanted to try one of these. I really like the Defender, like the 90 series and the 110 series, but I thought before I maybe jump into a 90 or 110 series, I gotta try the Discovery and see what they're about, more or less. These are, they don't make them anymore, and they're kind of like a nostalgia thing, right? The Campbell Trophy. It's what they're known for back in the days. So, yeah, to walk around, it has a plastic bull bar on it, which I did not know about until I got it, which, saves on weight. I mean, I work and live in the city, so it's kind of nice for weight savings, I guess. It has some little scratches, bangs, and bruises. It's an old vehicle, right? It's not perfect. The grill cutout with the mesh came like that prior to me buying it. And then the zip ties holding on my driver's side headlight here are there because the clips that hold it, the little white clips there, they've disintegrated. So I got to get some new ones to replace that. Other than that, it's pretty much a stock 300 TDI. I have done quite a bit of work to it, and it's had a bunch of work done to me buying it, or done to it prior to me buying it. So the water pump, timing belt, tensioners, like crank seal, all that kind of stuff was done prior, to buying it. So it's kind of a really big selling point. The Terra Firma silicone hoses came with it. I have replaced the turbo with a brand new OEM Garrett turbo from LR Parts over in the UK, and then a new exhaust manifold. But I do have a little bit of an exhaust leak there, so I need to figure that out and see how I can seal it up, more or less. It has new oil and return turbo lines, as well as a new starter. And then when I had the turbo off and all the piping here, I took it to work and cleaned it all up in the hot tank. So there's no oil residue in the lines, and all the cooler piping is all clean. Oil filter, all the fluids on it have been changed within spec. Battery's still good. And then, yeah, basically another main selling point is that it has a brand new Bosch injection pump. I think they retail for just about $3,000 here, AUD. Crankcase, breather hose, and lines have been changed. New Delphi OEM lift pump. I try to run man filters because they're good quality. And I've also recently done brand new 4 Bosch injectors. So other than that, the main reason why I also got this Discovery 1 is because there's no rust on it. The only rust I have on it, which is an interesting area, is a little bit on the bonnet hinges there, but there's none in the floorboards or in the rockers, floor pans, etc., what they're kind of known to rust, which is nice. It has a Safari snorkel. Don't know if I'll ever use it, but it's there. I recently got new tires for it. I'm running a 265 7016 Kumo Road Venture all-terrain. Really, really nice tire. Really good. It's on Dobson springs. The fronts I repainted with some zinc because they had a little bit of rust on them. So just kind of added some paint protection, more or less. And it's on, I believe, I mean, the shock absorbers are terra firma long travel. They say 50 mil, but I feel like it's either a 2-inch or a 3-inch lift. And it has terra firma stainless steel brake lines, which is a bonus when you're lifting it. You're not going to pull out your old ones. It's got terra firma 3-degree caster radius arms to help with the pinion angle of the axle. And then when I did the turbo and everything, I also replaced the downpipe. So it's a brand new downpipe that goes into a 2.5-inch resonator. There's no mufflers, basically downpipe with a flex pipe to a resonator and out the back. So it sounds pretty good. It's not too obnoxious on the highway. And that's pretty much the front end. It has brand new U-joints on the front prop shaft as well, going to the transfer case. So when you lift it, you know, pinion angles get a little bit unhappy. And yeah, there is the roof. No rust. It's pretty clean. I mean, I haven't really taken it off road because I just haven't had time or rust. That's the underside. Transfer case. Front axle. And it's an interesting color. It's tan on tan. So there's the rear door here. I got my helmet in there for when I go to track and do track days. And it came with the windows tinted, which is a bonus because it's really hot here, and it kind of just helps keep the sun and heat out inside. I have the spare off right now because I need to replace it. When I bought it, it didn't have the rear bumper on it, but it came with it. I don't know. I've not had any trouble with the cops or anything without running it, so I don't really need it. Tail lights, you know, left side has a little bit of a crack here, but the lights work, right? So it is an old vehicle, and if I can find a replacement, I will replace it. 4,000 kg hitch that came on it, so that's good if you want to tow stuff, I suppose. There is the rear Dobson springs, and that is the rear end. Got some new mud flaps for it because the other ones are rock solid, so these ones, you know, a little bit nicer. Come to the back here, I got some junk in here. Yeah, it's not a 7-seater, it's just a 5-seater. I always carry a fire extinguisher in all my vehicles because you never know. The rear carpet that was in here originally was quite gross, with it being, you know, a vehicle that people use to haul tools and things. You know, vehicles put in the used carpets get gross over time, right? So I ripped it all out, cleaned all the floors, and then I put sound deadening and insulation underneath, and then I just bought this universal carpet that cut and put in there more or less, so does the job, and that's that. So coming around, and yeah, this is where I buy a lot of my parts over in the UK because they have really good pricing and shipping to Australia. That's where I'm at. Other than that, there's the driver's side. When I bought it, it had dual auxiliary touring diesel tanks, so it had 210-liter tanks on it. I've removed and sold. Just a lot of unnecessary weight that I don't need for being in the city and such. The trim here broke, but you will see, you know, it looks like there's a little bit of surface rust. That's all it is. It's nothing structural. I've already looked underneath the carpets and the floorboards, and everything is solid, so it's good. The piece that goes underneath here for your steering column broke, so I need to get a replacement. Other than that, it's pretty much a clean stock Disco 1. And yeah, 326,000 kilometers on it for 1998. So it's pretty good. Actually, I'll fire it up here for you guys. Let's get the keys out. Pretty good. Got no blow by. The run's really good too. So, and yeah, that's that. So, if you guys like the video, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one. Cheers.